Hello and welcome everybody to our next episode of American Truck Simulator. Sorry I haven't played this one in a while. I've been a bit busy the last couple of weeks and I've only had time for the other two games. Starfield coming out really kept me busy, but now we're gonna get back to it. We're right now working toward actually earning our own truck. So as you can see, we can't drive around the world right now, so we're gonna go to the job market. And we got 44,000. We really need to get up to like 120, 130,000. So these loads that you see here, like this guy here from Vernal to Pocatello, Idaho, this is a good chunk of change. These are the type of jobs we're looking for. The ones that pay us the most. Okay, so I might be able to make this turn. But yeah, the sooner we can get our own vehicle, the better, because frankly, these trucks that they're giving us, they're not really that great. They're not good at all, actually. That's gonna be a tight squeeze. And yes, you can hear my cat in the background, making a little bit of noise today, aren't we, kitty? Okay. We are free of the yard. So a trip like this when we have our own rig would probably pay us closer to 30K, which is a lot better than what we're making now, which is why we're trying to save up to at least get 100, maybe 200,000. And the reason's simple, guys. We want a good chunk of change when we buy our truck. That way we can get a lot of power and oomph in that truck for pulling these bigger loads. What the heck was that? Okay, we're gonna do this wide turn because it's a big long load. Okay, we are now out on the main, almost out onto the main track, guys. So there's the highways up there, the one that will take us into Salt Lake, which will make it which will allow for us to link up with I-15 to Pocatello. An arcade. I don't see those anymore in real life, now do we? The world has changed. When I was a kid, those things were, they were the hit. We had our gaming consoles, mind you, but it was nothing compared to going down to the arcade with your friends and spending a couple bucks on a good old time. Okay, turning left. Excuse me, right. And this thing does not have a guts. Well, that guy there is going to have to wait now because we don't get a choice. We have to get over. He had an opportunity. He didn't take the opportunity. This is what we're hoping would not happen. Hitting the red light. As now we lose all that energy from the hill. And we'll probably be lucky to make 35 by the time we get to this next one. Yes, it's a beautiful day to drive in the desert. Now this is a part of Utah I've never been to. Salt Lake, on the other hand, that's a different story, but I have been there, but not Vernon. I've known people who were from here and say it's gorgeous out this way. Yes, and they say yes, it is somewhat of a desert. So at least they got that pretty accurate. I don't know what that is. And like I said, we were very lucky to get up. Actually, we did pretty well getting up to 37 before we got to this hill. Well, at least this hill's not as bad as it looks. Good, we'll have gravity work for us here. We are looking for, I believe, 65 or 55, something like that. I'm going to say it's 65. At 65, yes, it is. Alright. Alright, getting up there. Come on. You can tell it's this guy here does not like getting up into the 60s very well. We are pulling quite a heavy load. No, we gotta let off that gas. We gotta let it slow down. It's 45 through here. We don't want a cop to see us doing too much over. They will write us a nice ticket. And every ticket we get, that's money out of the bank that we could be putting toward other things. Now, this guy here should have waited. More than likely, yeah, we'll just try. We'll see if we can drag race this truck. I don't think we're going to get off going much faster than he is. But if we can slowly approach the light, maybe. I know we're not going to be able to. on, center street light. Now this will tell you just how slow this truck is. But then again, this guy here is pulling a lot lighter of a load. If he's pulling something similar, then it would really tell you how slow this truck is. A signal that we're getting over. The lane ends here in a few feet. That's right, dude, you're gonna let us in. Strawberry River, I don't see no strawberries. Now see, that's something my wife would be punching me for, making jokes like that, but it's funny. 311 miles. 5 hours and 25 minutes. That doesn't sound about right. You see it's gaining time because we're struggling with the hills. Things will pick up once we get onto the interstate, I-15 corridor, but we're not there yet. We're not out of the Rockies yet. We're not through the Wasatch and into the valley yet. So, okay, we'll keep to the right since we are slower traffic. As we are going to struggle with this hill. Now we're getting up to speed. Now we're starting to move. Just in case there's anyone that's behind us that wants to pass, they now have an opportunity, but they better get their butts on the move because we are going to run out of the lane here pretty quickly. We're going to shift over. The lane is ending right here. Dude, really? Now we're coming down the mountain. Don't know into what. Maybe it's Salt Lake. Port of entry. Ah, someone's out with the balloons. Please do not stop me. Thank you. Just a small town. And we are just going to pass right on through. Yummy restaurant, huh? Every light, guys. We've hit every freaking light. Jerk. Yes, he is one. Yes, I'm a jerk to my own drivers. To my own colleagues. How funny. But this right here is kind of why we are now stuck. We had built up all that speed, now we lost it all because of him. And we're going to be very lucky to get up this hill with any ease at all. Oh, actually we're starting to gain just a little bit of speed. This thing does have a little bit of power, a little bit of oomph to it, but not enough. So even that guy's having less of a problem getting up these hills than I am. And we got this big giant load, so it's going to make it a lot harder to get up here. And that looks like it might be Interstate 80 that we're getting ready to link up with. Yes, it is. Almost went through that because of the way this thing's set up. Alright, and this should be mostly downhill from here. That trailer took a hit? Oh, that's not going to matter too much. $20 miles to Salt Lake. This is going to drop us right into Salt Lake, which will be great. Means we're about halfway to our destination. Or actually, excuse me, probably closer to a third. But now it's 15 grand in the pocket. This will make us a good chunk of change. This gets us that much closer to buying our own equipment. I set that cruise control. Yeah, we want I-15 west, so... Okay, I'm not paying attention today. And this truck has a very crappy turning radius. It's not like it's a problem. We'll just use this highway here, get back up, get up, off, and get back on. So just so you know, guys, in real life, this exit, the 106 exit, or 10600, depending on how you want to approach it, this is over 10 miles away from the I-80 interchange. And we're going to pull up just like so. And in real life, this is not a diverging diamond exit. So this is a mistake on the game maker's part. $10,600 is at 106 is if I remember correctly, it's South Jordan Expressway. It's not, and it is not a diverging diamond. Ah, seems to be you. Porky's got himself some bacon. Come on, you piece of junk truck, get up to speed. Ooh. Reno, huh? I don't need to go to Reno. $60 miles an hour. It's taken this truck long enough to get up to that. And long enough that we gotta hope we don't get pulled into one of those stupid rest way stations. Not doing too bad for a truck that's got 1/3 of a million miles on it. Over 1/3 of a million miles, actually. We're getting closer to a... getting closer to 4/10. 2/5 of a million miles. In this rig. But it's... the one we're gonna buy will have 0 miles on it when we start. I don't know if it's going to be a Kenworth or if it's going to be something else. But since Kenworth seems to be the dealership that we know of and it's over in Ogden, that's probably what we'll end up being with to begin with. Let's get over to give these guys some room to get on. Now that we're up to speed, we can ride these lanes just a little bit. And this is what we were hoping wouldn't happen. We got very lucky. We almost missed that. That would have been $1,000. We just lost $1,000 because we crashed somebody because of this stupid thing. You know, we had all that speed built up, and now we lose it all because we have to stop here. And this truck is not really a good accelerator. Actually, in all, it's a terrible accelerator. And that right there explains why. We got 132,000 pounds of product. And that's a lot of weight, guys. I don't know why my mouse is moving around there. Cat must have got it. Cat was playing with the cable. Now we got to ride the slow lane because we're going to be lucky to get above 70 before we hit the border. We're only 115 miles or so out from our destination, which isn't too bad. We're going to want to merge off toward Pocatello because this right now is two highways. This is Highway 84 and I-15. I-84 peels off and heads toward Portland, Boise, Portland. Whereas this guy here, Pocatello, I-15 heads up toward the Montana-Canadian border. Okay, Riverside, Logan. I think I've been to Logan in this yet. Speed limit's 80 miles an hour. We're not going to hit that in this slow rig. Now we're going to want to start working toward increasing not just the load capacity, but the distance we could travel. Because these longer trips, they pay more. But we also want to do anything we can on our upgrades to increase the amount we get per load. Like I said, once we have our own truck, we're going to get paid fairly well. It's a lot cheaper just to have to pull a trailer that belongs to the company that's shipping it than it is for us to just have to buy our and instead of having to rent the truck too, because I think we have to rent the rig and we have to rent the trailer or take their trailer. Excuse me, it's not renting the trailer in real life. We would never do that, but then we have to take that trailer up there, which yeah, you lose a good chunk of change in renting the truck. Oh, looks like we might actually make 70 miles an hour. Maybe not. We're going uphill again. Oh, no, now we're going down. 72. We're going to hit that cruise control. Really is no point in going any faster. I'm about 74, which is 4 over, by the way. I assume that we're going to get over because this home storage truck. And it's not the storage truck's fault, it's this coach right here, this bus. We're going to be passing both of them up. Neither one of them is doing what we want to do. We must, yeah, I think we're probably already by now into Idaho. I didn't see a sign that signified that. Really, guys? 2 of them in a row? Normally they would not hit you for this twice in a row, at least as far as I know. Especially considering we're gonna good now. Oh, we could have bypassed. I made the mistake. Oh well. We're 31 miles from 22 miles from destination. 32 minutes. Like I said, we only have to pull a few more loads like this, and then we'll be able to buy our own vehicle. So, and that's gonna come in. That's when we're gonna really start to explore the map, guys. Because right now we're headquartered in Salt Lake, which means that we can only missions are only gonna be in and around that area. Well, that's the whole freedom of owning our own trailer. And of course, we're going to have to sleep and all that. Whereas now none of our missions are really long enough to require of it. Oh, he's turning right, and we're turning left. Alright, we have nobody. We are free to go. Eight miles to go. We are now in Pocatello. running out of fuel. Okay, so I have to remember to check these trucks when we rent them. Because right now all we are is a contract worker. Come on, turn signal. Let us go now. Next, yes we are. Oh man. You know, dude, trying to bum rush the gate's not going to get you there any faster, and we need where you are anyway, so. Okay. Almost there. Hooray. And of course the light's going to change. But we're turning, so we should be able to sneak on through here. Let's see here. You guys want it there? I think we can manage that. I don't feel like skipping parking. If I can get into that, I'm going to try to get into that. The extra points come in handy. Yes, it bumps us to level 5. Continue. Let's take a look here. I don't know if I want to do that. See, now you take a look here. The high value cargo is 15%. Right. This guy here is going to be another plus 5%. Let's do the high value cargo 3. Now I wonder if I could turn the companies on here. Let's have a look here. I'm actually going to bring this down to really, there we go. That's just not going to do crap at all. Let's see here. What's this one? Yeah, so I got to figure out how to turn on my the realism overhaul that allows for us to see things. So, or excuse me, allows for it to have real businesses and things of the like. Let's go back to Launchpad. Maybe it's in there. Yeah, Mod Manager. That's definitely where it's at. Yes, bring it over. Bring them both over. Confirm changes. Now that is probably going to get rid of some of these fake companies. I'll get rid of the fake companies, and now we'll have some real companies in here. Makes the game feel more real. Okay. So let's go to the job market. We'll take another job. Let's have a look and see what's available. So you can see a lift truck chassis. We're going from the most expensive would be from Steamboat Springs, Colorado to Gillette, Wyoming. We'll take that. It's all mountain driving. Once again, we got a long load. No telling how good this truck's going to be at pulling it, though. Got a half tank fuel. That hopefully should be easy enough for us to get up and out to where we need to go. This old Kenworth, you could tell, is already kind of a gutless worm, so a 7-hour trip to Gillette, Wyoming. And I don't think there's any interstates in this particular part, so it's going to be pretty much all rugged mountain driving. This truck does seem to be handling it pretty well. This one gives us another level up. We're going to put that toward the distance that we can carry the load. Like I said, distance is one of those things that's going to give us more. The 5% increase was nice, but it's not nice enough, if you know what I mean. So we really want that extra distance. I mean, that 400, 500, 600 mile range. You know, being able to take it, say, from Salt Lake to Reno, or from here up into Montana, is going to be a lot nicer. And of course, dude, you have to be right where I need to take up space, so okay. I'm going to be turning here at the light. But yeah, we can see now we've got real companies like this one here, Honeywell. So that's a lot nicer. I did not tell you to do that. No. Like this truck here, we got this one from Live Here, which is a real, it's actually a real equipment manufacturer. I don't know what you're honking at, dude, but that's not going to get you going any faster. So as you can see, the jobs are allowing us to go further and further afield. That means that they're starting to trust us. They're beginning to trust us more and more, which means that we may be able to start making more money, not just in Utah, but other states. I mean, this is the first job we've taken where it's not from Utah to somewhere else. This time it's from Colorado to Wyoming. And we even had a job available that would have taken us from Nevada to Utah. It was actually going from somewhere else to Utah, but we decided to go with this one. This actually pays more. The highest grossing paying jobs are the ones we want right now because they're the ones that are going to bring in the most cash. once we start getting up into that miracle $120,000, $130,000 range, we'll be able to afford our first cheap truck. And mind you, that truck will be a small workhorse for the time. We may even keep that truck and contract it out to make ourselves even more money. Finally, we're getting up to 65. Perfect. Now what we gotta worry about is the weigh stations. Speaking of the devil, we have to pull into this weigh station. We don't want the ticket. Which I think is like $1,100 or something like that. And this one's actually heavier than the last load by about 15,000 pounds. Now, yes, I have been thinking about starting a series on Farming Sim, Farm Sim 22, but I don't know if I have the time at the moment. I'd have to look into it. Maybe there's time. And eventually we're going to find something that will begin to take off. Whichever series really starts to take off, that's the one that we're going to focus on. But we haven't really had any hits yet. Then again, I've only been streaming and posting videos for about a month now. $45, come on. All that speed just to slow down. Oh, the road mods actually makes the roads look really nice. I mean, this actually looks like a real road. Somewhat. Okay, we were able to do 10 over through this town, which is good because that means we're already almost up to speed now. I don't know if we're into Wyoming yet, but we're getting ready to see some daylight here. Okay. And I think we are in Wyoming because looking at that highway sign, it's yellow. And it says Wyoming on it. So yeah, we're into Wyoming already. So most of our trip for this entire thing is through the state of Wyoming. We haven't hit Interstate 80 yet, which means that we're just barely into Wyoming. Then again, we may have already passed over it and I didn't realize it, but Interstate 80 does pass through the entire south end of the state of Wyoming. And I shouldn't say south end, southern portion of the state. Wyoming's one of those states that I've never been to. I've had friends tell me you're really not missing much except for Yellowstone. One of these days, me and the wife are going to go there. Going to take a vacation, go to Yellowstone just to see it. Now, another thing I'd like to see in Wyoming is Devil's Thumb. It's actually a volcanic national monument, believe it or not. But if we're going to see that, we're going to go to the Dakotas as well to see Mount Rushmore and some of these others. Okay, this is an interstate by the looks of it. This must be Interstate 80. Yeah, this is Interstate 80. Interstate 80. So I guess we did get to see a little bit of interstate action on this trip, but not a whole lot. You know, if we can make every penny that we get here, this will bump us well over into the mid-60s, which is that much closer to our goal of getting and owning our own truck, which we need over $100,000 to get that. Now, some people probably would ask me how come I didn't go for the loan. Well, simple. I don't want to take out any credit in this if I can. I want to work my way up to it. It's the American dream. I'm going to get your Mustang out of here. I'm going to push you if you don't. Yep, now we're off the interstate back onto countryside highways. Like I said, Wyoming's only got like 1 or 2 interstates, so if I remember correctly, if it has 2, they both run east to west. Which means that Rawlins, Wyoming. Them running both east to west, that means that there's none running in the direction that we are trying to drive. At least not in this portion of the state. There might be one in western or eastern Wyoming toward towards Cheyenne. Oh, we're not turning here. Let's go around this guy. He's turning here. We're turning at the next one. Okay, let's see if we can get through into this intersection before that light goes red. That guy right there, that would be a ticket. Thanks to him, we just lost 540 bucks because he was right where we needed to be. Now we're leaving Rawlings, heading north through the Badlands of Wyoming, just as the sun starts to rise. And I think today I'll do 3 or 4 loads. It all depends on how close to 10 o'clock we get. Local time for me, once it's 10 o'clock, I'm going to want to jet off, and got other things to do today. $70 miles an hour, huh? See if we can get up to 70. This is a nice straight, flat, somewhat downhill. Yeah, we could easily get up to 70. But that's the thing, this truck can't really take the corners at 70. We are headed toward Lander. That's, I think, our destination. Only another 200 miles to go. And the sun rises. And the new dawn breaks. It looks like the truck that slowed us down the last time has turned in there, so we won't have to worry about him for a while. It's this guy in the Mustang we got to worry about. Yep, we're up to 70 now. And this turn's not as sharp, so that's pretty good. Just punch right on through it. take the slow lane. That way faster traffic can get around us. Coming into a town, we really got to slow it down here. Casper. So, where's that ghost, huh? Every time I remember when I first heard of the city town of Casper, Wyoming, I always picked on it for that. Oh, the friendliest ghost is there, right? No, not necessarily. We got super lucky with that one. Just hit it just at the right spot. Yeah, dude, I know you're thinking about it, but don't even try it. Well, that's nice, up and over the rail. And we're going to want that fast lane, so we need to turn to head. We need to make another left turn here. English Avenue. It's an explorable over here, huh? So for those of you from outside the U.S. or who don't realize, this is the Ep25. So this is the north to south corridor that's coming out of uh, Denver. So there is one that goes up and down here, but it's on the eastern half of the state. Okay, so back to what I was saying before. So those of you who don't realize, the state of Wyoming has the least population of any state in the United States. And that right there is kind of a sad thing, considering there are states like Vermont, Rhode Island, Delaware, that are a lot smaller in size, but have more population than the state of Wyoming. Wyoming only has a population just above 500,000, somewhere between 500 and 600,000, if I remember correctly. And the state's not growing by any leaps or bounds. There's really not a whole lot to do in the state of Wyoming. Yes, we're going to be blocking a lane until that light changes. Probably should get that blinker on. Yeah, we could run the light, but that's like $900 off our tab. We've already lost $520 for clipping someone's car. Now, hopefully we'll get lucky and we'll be staying on the 25 for a while here. And guys, those of you even in the United States don't realize this, but you look at an interstate highway, all right, and I mean this when I say this. If you really look at them, you'll notice a pattern. All right, a very definitive pattern. Interstates that end in a 0 are east to west. If they end in a 5, they're north to south. And the lower the number, so like numbers like 10 and 40, they're down in the south. Whereas numbers like 80 and 90 are up toward the north. And it's the same thing with the 5s, but instead it's west to east. So I-5 or Interstate 5s in California, 25's out where we are now. There's an Interstate 15 in Utah that runs from California through Utah up into Montana. So it's one of those interesting facts that we have that organized in a grid-like setup across the country. And then some of you in your municipalities may have noticed, depending on where you're at, you have freeways that are 3 letters that are interstate grade. For instance, you might have Interstate 540 or 440. The first digit doesn't really correlate to much. It's a state assigned thing. But the 2 last digits correlate to the interstate that it runs alongside. So in this case, Interstate 40. So you keep that in mind next time you're out on the freeway. If you're driving in your major city, like say if you go down to the Bay Area, you have 280, 680, 580. All of those are interstate highways. All right, keep in mind they're interstate highways that run in the state of California near Interstate 80. So even when you're down in San Jose and you're over 100 miles away from, you're probably close to 100 miles away from, or 50 to 100 miles away from Interstate 80 on I-680, eventually it will junction up to or cross Interstate 80 at some point. Now, I remember coming into California, or coming into the Livermore area from Tracy. You're on I-205, and then it turns into I-580. It's a bridge over, right? 205 is telling you that it's running along Interstate 5, and 580 is telling you that it runs up to Interstate 80. It is an interesting way that they set these things up. They do that on purpose so that they can keep it organized, so that it's organized and the numbers don't confuse people. I think on this trip we're probably going to have to get some fuel. Don't like that idea, but it's something that has to happen. And this old truck doesn't have a way of telling you either how much fuel you have left, how far you can go on that fuel you have left, excuse me. So it is probably going to be imperative that the next time we see a fuel stop, we get off, top the tank off. Yep, we're going to have to do that, because the last thing we want to do is get stuck in a position where we can't get to where we need to go. And we're not going to top the tank off completely. We're just going to add enough fuel to get to where we need to go, and that's it. This is a rental after all. And like I said, yep, so this is I-90. This freeway starts up in Seattle, Washington, and heads out this direction. We are in northeastern Wyoming, so it's definitely plain and easy to see. Oh, come on, we gotta hope there's a fuel station here and we don't run out of gas. That is something I've never done yet. Okay, we have one of those truck stops coming up. Hopefully it doesn't stop us. But we're into Gillette. Get your shaving cream ready. Shaving cream and razors, excuse me. And that is where we're heading, is Gillette. So, yeah, there's a 76 and there's a Chevron. Don't know if we're able to use those or not. Hopefully we can. We might be lucky here, guys. And when I say lucky, yeah, we may not have to get gas. We managed to do it again, which really is crazy if you think about it. Yeah, we're going to have just enough fuel to get where we need to go. getting lucky, guys. Right by the old... Is that a Napa? Well, it's not, but that's what it should be, is a Napa Auto Parts. Well, if I lived in these houses, I'd be pissed. I'd be ticked that this is right down the street from my house. Then again, you choose to live here, you're going to have to deal with it. I think we can manage that for you. What we're going to do is going to come in. We're going to immediately do this. I don't know if we want to skip the parking. This is such an easy parking job, we might as well just take it. And it didn't give us level 6. That's wonderful. Let's have a look at the job market. Might as well take it. A double haul of Amazon Prime trailers. How nice. So you got to remember, guys, in real life, some states actually let you pull more than 2 trailers. Some states have laws where you can only pull 1 or no more than 2. Some states it's 3. Some states they don't let you pull more than, they only let you pull 1, but it's really different depending on which state you were in. For instance, here where I live in Nevada, 3 trailers is the limit, and they have to be under a specific length, total length. Oh, how lucky we just got. Wide swing it just a bit. Now this truck here's got 468,000 miles, so we're getting this one here's close to the 500,000 mark. Yeah, we're gonna get on to I-90 again. And we got to keep an eye on that fuel. We have 2/3 of a tank. This truck here seems like it's got a lot of power. It really doesn't. What it is the reason why it feels like it's got a lot of power is primarily because this load's far lighter than the loads we've been pulling before. You're gonna yield, right? No, you can get ahead of me. Good. Like I said, guys, we're getting close here to being able to afford our own rig. If we don't have any incidents, this will put us up right up around 90K. Which is really right toward the beginning of the territory where we can afford our own rig at the dealership. And that's going to be great because that means that we can make more money per load, which is really what we are trying to get to. It's more money per load. It's important that we can manage that. And owning our own rig will make that possible. This trip's not as far as the last one, but it still pays really well. The last one was close to 7 hours. This one's only about 6-hour drive, which isn't too bad. But we do get to see more of beautiful Wyoming during the daylight hours this time. Whereas before we traveled mostly through the night to get up to where we are now. And hopefully we don't get too many way stations. We might get lucky not to worry about any at all, but then again, I'm not going to say much about that because I could be wrong. You made it. Next exit's a bathroom. Wow. I wonder if that's a real billboard out in Wyoming. Okay, you gonna stop us? Oh, that wasn't a what's it called? That was just a camera. Okay, I need to really pay attention to the road here. Xbox controller is sometimes not the easiest to deal with when it comes to driving these things. I believe we're probably going to be getting off of I-90 up here. We are going toward Rock Springs. So basically we're retracing our route from before. And of course, we get stuck behind the slow chemical truck. Yeah, we were hoping that wouldn't have happened. We would have been able to maintain some of that speed as we came up this hill here, because we did come down this route on our last trip, and it was all downhill. Now we're going uphill. Uh, 58 miles an hour, almost 60. Come on. There we go. We still got 20 more miles an hour to go. I think we'll get it here through this. Definitely going to get it right in here. This is downhill. Set the cruise now. Let that pull us on through. All right. Now, as long as we don't have to worry about the way stations, or worry about a way station for a while, we should be fine. I don't know how long we're going to be on I-25. Like I said, we've been here through before, because you can see the road off to our left on the map is yellow. That's a sign that we've been down that, which means this is the way we came up here before. Well, they actually simulated that. There's cattle. Lost quite a bit of our momentum here. Coming up on Casper. I know that because of that tower I see there. That airport conning tower, or whatever that is, airport control tower, excuse me. That's what it looks like, at least. It might not be, it might be, it might not. I don't know if there's an airport in Casper. It could be a water tower as well, though. You know, guys, really no need to slow down. We are getting off the highway here. Hopefully the guy in the chemical truck is not. Hopefully he's staying on, heading further south. And it looks like he is, so that's good. We are getting off onto 220 here, head to Rawlins. Like I said, this is going to retrace the route we took earlier. Half a tank of fuel, so we're looking pretty decent on that. Probably not going to have to top this truck off. We got super lucky we hit that light. That's a mine shaft by the looks of it. Actually, that's oil. That's a pump jack right there. That's a derrick and a pump jack, but the derrick doesn't need to be there once they've actually gotten down to the well. Once they've gotten the well down into the reservoir. That's saying that it's not just a retired one, which it probably is. It's probably just a display. This is our turn. And we barely made that light. And I mean barely. Let's get it back down to 32. We don't want to take it. Like I said, our objective is to make money, not lose money by getting tickets. And this is going to be the first light we're going to hit, not get a choice in. And that's not something I wanted to see. We'll see. We may or may not catch up to him. He may get up around that corner and despawn. It's the great thing about playing single player. You know, I have thought about doing multiplayer on this game, but the issue with that is you got a lot of people that like to do griefing in games like this. So you get out there, you do multiplayer, and then all of a sudden they're driving the wrong way and they get you into an accident. And there goes your business. And yeah, some of you may think it's funny, but it's not that funny when you're you put all that work in there just for some kid to come and destroy it for you. In real life, if you would have done that in real life, and this is the truth, you'd be on your way to jail. And that is no joke. Normally, when you get caught in a game like this, if the game creators are any good, they'll ban you for a while or ban you permanently from the server. That way, you don't cause any more issues. All right. Yes, we do have to get over. Yeah, he may have turned down that one. That's what I'm hoping. That chemical truck did. And hopefully, if he is on this, he's good at keeping the speed up. That way, we don't have to worry about him. We only got 143 miles to take this now. Not too far. For those of you living back east who think, oh, this isn't real mountains, I would almost agree with you, except for the fact that most of Wyoming is high elevation. And when I mean high elevation, I mean it's higher up in elevation than the highest mountain peaks back east. Mount Mitchell is the highest peak in the Appalachian Mountains, and I think that's either in North or South Carolina, maybe Virginia. I'm not sure, but it's lower in elevation than some of the nearby cities to where I live. And where I live is higher than most cities back east. Um, most mountain peaks back east, for that matter. I mean, the city which I live in, is at 4,500 feet above sea level, and that's a lot higher than most mountain peaks in back east. Matter of fact, the nearby Sierra Nevada mountains, which are only a few miles from where I live, in my area they go up well above 8,500 feet. Some of them, one of them, Mount Rose, which is really close to Reno, Nevada, where I live, is 11,000 feet. It's up there. Of course, my wife would say they're not that tall because she's from the Salt Lake area. The Wasatch Mountains are taller than that, but not by much, only maybe 500 to 1,000 feet. They're only 1,000 feet taller than Mount Rose. You know, they're 11,000, 12,000 feet on average, and that's about it. Okay, we're into Rawlins, excuse me, there's no G there. Which means that we'll be able to, which means we're only about 90 miles away from our destination. Oh, we really need to slow down here. We're doing twice the speed limit. That's the last thing we need is a ticket. We'll be turning right. Okay. Ooh, we got lucky. The light just turned. We're going to want that right lane. We're going to be merging onto Interstate 80 toward, I think it's Castle Rock. I think that's where we're going. Come on, dude, you're on the on-ramp now. Start accelerating. In real life, guys, don't ever do what that guy just did. You will get into an accident, and you will end up destroying your car. It is very easy, and I mean this when I say this, to keep an eye on the car in front of you while looking at what's coming down towards you from the yield. Okay, we need to get onto Interstate 80. We're 80 miles away from our destination. We have been super lucky, guys. We haven't hit one way station yet that has wanted us to pull in. So nice. Now, I can't promise it's going to stay that way. And maybe we'll get lucky and make it all the way to Castle Rock without that being a problem. But no promises. So this is where we merged onto the interstate the last time. Coming up from Colorado, you can see that there, that line disappearing off to the left there. So this part of Wyoming that we're coming into, it's all new. And yes, I've been told by people who I know who live in Wyoming, who come out here and I've met and I've known over the years, that yes, it's very much a desert like you see here all the way through Wyoming. That's Rock Springs, that's where we're heading. So yeah, we're getting close. Getting close. Set the cruise. You only got another 26 miles to go. Yes, we're going to go around you, Captain Napa. We are going faster than you. And you get all the way over because this is our exit. We're going to be turning left. Stay green, just a little longer. Well, we're in, so it's not going to ticket us. That's good. And yes, I think we've already been up to Rock Springs. I'm not sure. Apparently, it's yellow, so we've been here. I think we had delivery up this way. Yeah, we had delivery up this way from Salt Lake area, so. Okay, guys, let's go. And yes, we're going to make the light. That's good. Yep, no more lights, and we're delivering it to the Wally World. How nice. Didn't know Amazon delivered that to the Walmart. So, my sister and I both worked at Walmart for a number of years. I did when I was in college. And the Spark thing they got, and this is something that my sister mentioned, and now that she's mentioned it to me, I can't unsee it. It looks like a puckered up butthole. Oops, I skipped it. But it doesn't matter, we're going to get up into level 6. And we're going to grab long distance 2. So long distance 2 will allow us to go 650 miles. This will allow for us to go a little bit further. This will give us more cash per load. But if you take a look at what we've got now, we're up to 90,000. And now you take a look, we've got Idaho Falls to Salina, Utah. That's 21,000 $1,000 load for leap here. So yeah, we're gonna take that, and it's mostly across flat ground, flat terrain. So that's pretty good for us. That's, as one might say, easy money. And that'll put us at 110,000. That'll give us the opportunity probably at that point to begin looking at our first basic truck. And as we leave Idaho here, we're shipping back toward home. Oh, this thing's got some power too. That's good. It's real good. Fortunately, we did miss this light. What is this? This is an international, so keep my eyes on that. Maybe this is the way to go when we get our own. But then again, I could be pulling a load that's less than 120,000 pounds. Then again, we might get pulled into a weigh station to find out, but right now we don't know that. So actually, I should know that because I just didn't read the manifest. It tells you. It tells you. A railroad crossing. Please tell me we don't have to worry about that. Or if we do, we're already through it. It's already through the intersection by the time we get through this light. Nope, we don't have to worry about it. It's off to our right, so that's perfect. We're going to the left. Yeah, we're only pulling a telehandler, so this thing's not that heavy. Yeah, I actually like this this street mod because they actually look more used like you would see in real life. I mean, how often you come across a freshly paved street? It's not every day. Not every road's freshly paved every day. Um, so some roads have more wear than others because it's an older road. I know up here where I live in Reno, they've really been working on the roads this summer because last winter was so brutal to our roads, it tore everything up. Matter of fact, I think that's one of the reasons why my insurance premium went up just a little bit. It was primarily because of all the claims people were making this winter from hitting potholes and things of the like. Area code 555. I don't know if that's right for Idaho. If I remember correctly, I think Idaho is one of those few states that's got one, maybe two area codes. I think it's still just one. Idaho is not big enough to have more than that. I don't think it's 555, guys. I think it's like, yeah, it's 208. That's what I thought. And then again, it is a video game. They probably don't want to put a number in there that's real. And 555 is the TV area code or TV code. So that's why you see TV phone numbers all start in 555. You don't see 555 outside TV. That's the reason why, guys. Because God forbid they put someone's phone number on there in real life, put a phone number there in real life in the game, in a movie or in a game, and it's an actual number that leads back to something. Somebody's gonna get sued there. Somebody could get sued there. All right, off we go. Now, hopefully you don't have any accidents. Then again, I did cut that in half. Because in real life, you don't really see accidents on every road every day, particularly out in the country. Set the cruise control now. And you can see, yeah, we've got that Mountain Daylight time thing on our thing. It's 9:31 Mountain Daylight. Um, I haven't gone into Nevada far enough, or at least I didn't check when I went to Elko to see if it goes to PDT, which it should. Um, there's parts of Texas that should be CDT, Central Daylight, so that's another thing we got to check when we start going out that way. But we're pretty much going to be stuck on the I-15 until we get into Utah. All the way into Utah, excuse me. This isn't going to change. Even once we do get into Utah, it's going to still be I-15 that we're on. Yeah, after we drop this load, if we don't have any accidents or incidents, we're definitely going to start looking to see what it would cost us to get into a rig. And we're up to a point now where we can afford it, which is awesome. And this load here should be more than sufficient to hopefully be able to do that. And we'll be able to start pulling larger loads or loads further distance once we have our own rig. But that's going to be more dependent on as to where we're at as well. You have to remember that one thing you got to remember is that we will be in a location, and that's the location where we'll be driving, and that's where we'll be getting our load. Our jobs will be in that vicinity. We don't want to drive too far to where we're wasting gas. Okay, here comes a what's it called? Are they going to stop us? Yes, they are. So it's really dependent upon our location when it comes to that. Yeah, see, this thing's only 72,000. So this truck, like I said, we're not even pulling 100,000 pounds. So it's actually pretty good for the lighter loads. Don't know how it would handle with, say, a load over 100,000 pounds. That is yet to be seen. Not like it's a problem. This truck actually does get up to speed pretty quick with the load that we've got. Then again, the load only weighs 20 tons. So you guys got to remember too, maximum load weight is on U.S. freeways is only 80,000 pounds, or approximately 40 tons, or for those of you on the metric system, about 32 tons. Oh, come on, dude. You really gonna pin me right behind this guy like that? There we go. Yep, 73 miles an hour. We haven't quite hit Utah yet. We should be expecting that at any time now, guys. Any time. Anytime we should be seeing Logan, which is Utah. If we don't have a sign here that tells us, I don't know. I haven't. The last time we were up here, we had a truck next to us apparently when we went through it. So, yep, I was right. There it is. It's Utah. And we're now in Utah, which means we got to push it again. That speed limit goes from 70 to 80. Come on, get up there. Okay, hit it. And yes, we're going to continue to increase our range since we're probably going to be buying our own rig. Like I said, these long distance hauls is where the money's at, guys. Oh, Jesus. We hit that just a little too fast. And we're going a little bit faster than this guy, so we're just going to pull right on into this lane. We're going to be passing through Salt Lake, through Provo, Ogden and Provo as well. Ogden's first, then Salt Lake, then Provo. That's finger licking good, huh? Huh, Captain KFC? Is that a way station? Again? 2 in a row. Oh, yeah, typical Utah. This is the Kenworth dealer that we're going to be coming to. I think that's the only thing we have available to us. Yes, we need over. And there's the incident we were hoping not to have. That right there is going to bump us down to 109,000. Well, as long as we don't have another one, we should be fine. Start merging over. We're definitely getting up to speed now. That's Salt Lake City, guys. So we're getting close. So we were back in the town where we're headquartered, which is nice. One 128 more miles to go, so yeah, definitely past Salt Lake. And we may be ending this episode on the purchase of a new truck, guys. It's awesome. Real awesome. So in real life, over here is more green than what we see in the game. And off to the east, to the west, it's more brown. And that really is how it is in this area. It's the same thing in Nevada. When you're on the Sierra Nevadas, are green, and then as you look over to the east, it's brown. It's just opposite than here. Okay, I think, yep, we're into Provo now. Maybe we'll get the Discover of Provo here. So we haven't been to Provo yet. I don't think we're going to, though, because I think we need to be on that road over there by the camera to get it. And I think that we're going to miss it just... Yep, we're going to miss it, so we're not going to get Provo. At least not this time. I believe our delivery target's just outside of Provo, maybe a few miles outside of Provo. Let's see, we're looking not too bad on fuel. We're getting kind of low again. That's why I'm looking forward to having my own rig. You don't have to worry about that as much because we will know where our fuel is. We'll have a full tank. At least a full tank to start. But we definitely have enough fuel to make the 67 miles out to our destination. It's not like it's a problem. Watch for wildlife dusk and dawn. You know, these signs are good. Normally you don't have to worry about that on the interstates, but there are those times you get a deer that's stupid come right out in front of you. Here in Nevada, the worst one is horses. We have wild horses here. And I know a lot of people think, well, those need to be protected. They were here before us, and really, honestly, it's true and it's not at the same time, because the horses that were living in the Americas long before man got here have been long since wiped out, and all the horses that are here today are of European descent. So that tells you that the indigenous Indians, yeah, they wiped out the horses. Well, actually they did so. I shouldn't say Indians, I should say Native Americans is more proper. They wiped them out long, long before the Europeans even arrived. They were extinct in the Americas probably 10,000 years ago, guys. Probably 8 to 10,000 years ago. Now they're just a nuisance. There are no natural predators here for them. So the populations here in Nevada for wild horses, they get out of control. They start entering the cities, and then before you know it, um, you start having people getting killed by these wild horses, because that's something that a lot of people don't realize. Now you go up there and say, I can walk next to these guys, they're just fine. That's a yes and a no. If you do anything at all that for whatever reason provokes the male of the herd, all of a sudden you might find yourself in a position where you're getting kicked by a horse, and then you wake up a couple weeks later after coming out of a coma, or worse, you wake up at the pearly gates of our Heavenly Father, asking what the heck just happened. And not having to, and of course at that point, not having to worry about life anymore because you are no longer here. So keep that in mind, guys. Wild horses, not safe. They're more of a nuisance than they are a blessing. I know out in the rural areas here where I live, areas like Dayton and Virginia City, they are a real problem. 4 of the 10 cities in the Beehive State. No, dude, you're not going to even try it. Yeah, we have a wide turn. Like I said, the next one we're going to grab is going to be another distance one. If we could take loads further, that's more money in our pocket each load. We're almost to our destination at Lib here. Ah, really? It still should be somewhere right around 110,000, 109,000. Okay, here's our destination. Now let's see where they want us to park this big bad boy and make sure we don't hit the key that skips us through. Oh, right here in front of us. Perfect. Yep, we'll pick up the extra 25 points. Oh, that's actually going to put us, just shy of what we need the points to be where we need to be. Then again, it's only 354 miles. That's a lot of the reason why. It wasn't really enough distance. Like I said, the distance deliveries will give you more points too. Matter of fact, that's where you see we got the bonus for cash. Higher value cargo bonus is 2,500 bucks. Otherwise, this would have been just a $17,000 reward. We were able to get the 21,000 because of that. Well, guys, we have almost 111 grand. So I guess you know what that means. It's time to go and have a look at what trucks are available. Now, luckily, see, we only know of 2 Kenworths, so we're gonna go and visit this selected dealer. Yes, we want to travel to Ogden. And you can see we can't afford it yet, guys. We're still just shy of what we need for the lowest level truck. I think they only get more expensive from here, so yeah. And you can see it's available from a specific level. So this one's available to us now. This one's available to us now. This one we have to be a 13. So yeah, we have to run one more mission before we can actually afford it. And this will be our last mission of the day. Where's this going? It's $31,000. It's not a very heavy load. It's 26,500 pound. Let's see here. How far is it though? It doesn't tell me how far we're driving. We're gonna take that. It's not a heavy load. It's probably an expensive one. Ooh, Astoria. Now, yes, guys, in real life, I've been to Astoria. It's beautiful just like that in real life, by the way. All right, let's see what we've got here. Oh, it's another telehandler. How nice. Yeah, this is definitely going to put us up higher. Probably more toward that second or third level truck, which would be a lot better, but we need to make sure that we get enough horsepower, guys. And that's really what's important. We got to make sure we get enough horsepower to actually pull the loads that we want to pull. And you see we're going 503 miles on this one, so this is an 8-hour and 33-minute drive. We should easily be able to make that. I can see that our fuel is half tank. That's not going to be enough for this drive. So we're going to want to top it off here before we leave. Or soon, not before we leave, but first gas station we see, we're going to want to top off. That way we are ready to rock and roll here. So rock and roll and just drive. So we're going to top off at the first gas station we see. But yeah, guys, we're at the point now where we're in the territory where we can afford our own truck. We've worked our way up to that. We're not going to be broke anymore, which is nice. Now we just got to wait for the light here at Poplar to turn. I'm going to wait this concrete truck right next to us. And by the way, guys, that is the proper name for them. they're not making cement in those trucks, they're making concrete. Of course, some people would say, well, cement is concrete. I would disagree with you on that. I'm an engineer. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Pal, let's just run the light. That's very nice of you. So, yeah, I would disagree with you on that. It's concrete because there's aggregates in it, whereas cement is just a binder. It's actually a powder, believe it or not. When you go down to the hardware store, if you buy a bag of cement, it does not come with any rocks in it. So you keep that in mind, because if you make that mistake, now you know how to fix it. Because I've known a lot of people who've made that mistake. They've gone down, they bought a bag of cement, thinking, "Oh, this is concrete. This is what I need." And they say, "Where's the rocks? Why is there no rocks in it?" Well, there's no rocks in it because it's a bag of cement. It's not a bag of concrete. Come on. Well, you're going straight. So we're mostly going to be staying on the I-25 corridor for this one. And like I said, the first gas station we see, we're going to pull over, get some fuel, top this truck off. That way we could definitely make it there without any issues. What is this brand? Oh, this is a... I actually like this truck. This display is really nice. It even tells us the temperature of our engine. .81 degrees outside, 163 is the temperature of the engine. So the engine's still warming up. No, it's even got the indicator for how fast we should be going on this road. So it's got a GPS. So my buddy would call it, my boss would say it's a GIPS, but everybody else would call it GPS. There's gas there. Oh, this is it, guys. Here's our fuel stop. So this is where we need to get off and pick up our supply of gas. Okay, we're going to top it off. We're just going to top this tank off. It's probably going to cost us a couple $1,000, or probably $1,000, pretty dang close to it. I do believe we get reimbursed for that. Since it is clear. Oh. It did count that because we're in the wrong lane. So the Love station you see here, that's an actual brand. I didn't believe it when I first saw it, or believe it in this game when I first saw it, and then when I was up in Oregon a couple months back, I actually bumped into a station with that name. So they are actual. Let's see here. I do like the data that I'm seeing, but I don't see one that tells me how much further I can go on the tank. And we're gonna let this guy pull us now. You need to slow down a few miles an hour. This is a lighter load, so it's not like it's that difficult to get up to speed and pull. If the truck is a decent truck like this one here, shouldn't struggle with it at all. And this is, of course, as you can see, a section of road that we've never been to, never been on. So we are changing that here. And after this this load, everything we do is going to be with our own truck. And we're going to have to watch it because we may not be able to pull these giant heavy loads right off the get-go. We are not going to have the horsepower in the engine to do that, or the transmission to do that right away. These are things that we're going to have to do to upgrade. Eventually we'll end up selling that truck or retiring it to or putting it on our contract, on a contract worker, which, by the way, will be important because after this load we basically start our own trucking business. We've got to that point where we've got enough in savings that we can start our own business. Nice, let's get it up to about 82 here, guys. If we can. What the heck is that? That was a weird little alarm. I've never heard that before. We're going to stay in the fast lane because technically we are... we might have to get back over. We are now doing exactly the speed limit. No, not anymore. Now we're doing 84 again. We haven't hit Cheyenne yet, which is the capital of Wyoming. For those of you who don't know. Cheyenne's not the most well-known city in the state of Wyoming. Most people, they know of Casper or Laramie. And the reason why Casper is known is one, like I said, it's just that one cartoon, Casper the Friendliest Ghost, makes that town known because of its name. Laramie's known because that's where the University of Wyoming is located, is in the city of Laramie. And that's just one of those things that people don't realize when it comes to these states, like Wyoming, for instance. My friends that are from Wyoming are from Laramie. I think they live in Cheyenne now, but when I met them, when I met those individuals, they're from the city of Laramie, town of Laramie, which, yeah, it's a wonderful small town. I'm sure. I've never been there. We're gonna have to slow down. Oh, everyone's doing 65. We're speeding. Yeah, we must be in Laramie now. or excuse me, Cheyenne. Yeah, we're in Cheyenne because this is the Interstate 80 interchange. So we're almost to Colorado. So as you can see, we've been doing all of our jobs this far have been in the states, in and around where where our company's headquartered. We haven't gone more than one state away from Utah, where our headquarters is located yet. So that should tell you guys living back east just how big these states are. I get this question a lot from my friends back east because I tell them I live in Reno, Nevada. And like, oh, you could drive to Vegas. You can get to Vegas in like an hour, right? It's only an hour away, isn't it? And I had to tell them, no, it's a lot further than that. And you know, one of my friends who lives in New York, I told him you could take it to equivalents. It's like driving to South Carolina. He's like and he told me that's an 8-hour drive. I said, yep, that's about how far Vegas is away. But you're not leaving the state. I said, no, we're not leaving the state. You're not leaving the state. You're still in Nevada the whole way. But Nevada's a really big state. It's the 7th largest state in the country by area. And I told him if you got on the I-93 in Vegas, or just south of Vegas at, the state line at Searchlight down there where it comes out at the very tip of Nevada, and you drove all the way to the north, you'd find that you're still in Nevada 10 hours later. Up, you're into Colorado now. At 10 hours later, you're still in Nevada. You haven't even gotten, probably by that point, you probably just coming up. If you're lucky, you've made Winnemucca. And that's if you're speeding. And you'd be speeding the whole way if you did make Winnemucca in 10 hours. And that's taking the I-95. The I-95 would take you up to I-80 just outside Lovelock. And then you get off on that again. Stupid mouse. Yeah, you get up off that again. Up onto I-95 again, heading toward the Oregon state border. Oh good, we get to bypass this. In Winnemucca. So yeah, it's a long drive. It's a long drive. It's over 10 hours. And you haven't even left the state of Nevada. Now, California is not much different. When you're going up north on I-5, your highway markers are in the 800s when you cross the state line into Oregon. Okay, and you gotta remember that highway marker 1 is about a mile north of the Mexico border in the San Diego metropolitan area. So that's over 800 miles away. And that's the thing a lot of people don't realize is these western states, they're huge. The biggest state that most of these guys have been to is Texas. But, Texas, as huge as it is, it's not the only state that's big like that. Alaska's big, California's big, Montana's big, Nevada's big. Arizona and New Mexico, they're bigger than Nevada, but they're square. They're a square state. They're not long in any way, shape, or form. Whereas Nevada, we've got that 45-degree angle, which that starts right around, that starts at Lake Tahoe, by the way, where that 45-degree angle on our western state border is. That's Lake Tahoe, which is honestly a very gorgeous lake, by the way. It's a big-time tourist attraction. And that one there is, for me, about 45 minutes away. I could be there in 45 minutes. It's not that far. And honestly, I go up there don't go up there as often as I should, but when I was a boy, we used to go up there all the time. But then again, when I was a boy, we lived in Carson, which is a little bit closer. It's closer to the South Lake, but here in Reno, we're closer to North Shore.
And honestly, yeah, it's 30 to 45-minute drive for me to get up to Tahoe. If I wanted to, I could be there in less than an hour at one of the most beautiful lakes in the country. And there's your Broncos Stadium. I got a friend that's a fan of the Broncos, and I've told him time and time again that this part of Nevada is a 40 whiners, 49ers, 40 whiners territory. We are really speeding, guys. Well, I guess we're gonna get lucky. If I see a cop, I'm not gonna be so happy about it. We are doing 20 over. Now we're doing 15 over. Let that hit that cruise control button there. Slow us down more towards 70. Oh, and we do that and the speed limit jumps right back up to 75. We should have just left it. 78. Okay, we'll hold it there. Only 178 more miles to go. Colorado Springs, how nice. Another 65-mile-an-hour zone. And there it is. A pig has gotten his fill today. That's me not paying attention, guys. But I do gotta say, I like this display that I see here. So yeah, maybe looking into getting one of these in the future. We'll start with the Kenworth because that's our nearby dealer. And as we find more dealerships, we can decide to upgrade later. $139 more miles to go. Let's bump it up, guys. Pueblo. Bump it up. Get that speed up. All right. Yeah, we've been on the I-25 for the majority of this trip, which is nice. We should be getting off here pretty soon. Then again, most of our journey is through the state of Colorado on this one. And you guys are probably saying, why is it so flat? Well, half of Colorado's in the mountains, the other half is on the Great Plains. Once you hit Denver, you're really at the top of the Great Plains. I mean, you're still kind of in a mountainous city, elevations at 5,000 feet above sea level, but still, when you really think about it, you're on the Great Plains at that point. And yes, I've been to Denver, so I know that it's really just the plains. All right, 100 more miles to go. Hour and 48 minutes game time. Let's get over, because these guys are going a heck of a lot slower than we are, and we're not even doing the speed limit. $76. I want to get over now because I see our exit coming up by the looks of it. Which means that we have done most of our driving. Most of it, like I said, is freeway. Now we're going to be taking country roads to get to our destination from here. The last 70 some odd miles. Yep, we're going to drop it on down here because this is a really sharp turn. Okay. Yes, we want to beat him onto this road. Alamosa is up ahead. That's not too bad. I think that's where we're heading. I might be going further than that, though. Don't remember. I don't know why I don't remember these destinations. Well, doesn't matter. I'm not really paying attention to it because I got this map telling me where we're going, so yeah. I'm going to stay in the slow lane just in case any small cars may be in here. However, if we do catch up to this this liquids truck, this hazards truck, we're going to have to go around him. This will be our last load. We'll buy ourselves our truck on this episode. Try to see if we can get a decent engine for it. No, we're not going to go with white. We're going to go with an orange because that's the color of the truck that's in display in our what's it called that we have on display. It's what our dream truck is for the time being. Like I said, dreams are going to change as we get further along. And then we, of course, as we unlock and also can afford more, we're also going to be unlocking the next level of long distance hauling, which will give us even more cash. So that's also good news. And we've caught up to you, sir. I guess left lane merges ahead. Yep. Someone's out in the hot air balloons. Last week in here where I'm at, Reno, we just had the hot air balloon races, which were awesome, by the way. I highly recommend that for anybody that wants to see a light show in the early dawn hours of the morning. And when I say early dawn hours, I mean the Super Glow show starts at about 5 o'clock. And you have your dawn patrol right around, we're doing between 6 and 7, right around 6. That starts up 7 o'clock. The mass ascension happens, where we have 80 balloons going up into the air. And also, guys, it's important to know that the event is free. You don't have to have tickets to enter. It's a free event. They make all their money from the sponsors downtown, downtown group here in Reno, uh, casinos and all that sponsor. But at the same time, they also make money from their concessions and things of the like as well, I'm sure. Destination's coming up on the left, on the right. Perfect. Which means we are almost there. It's a good thing we topped off because we've used more fuel than... No, that's right. Yeah, Alamosa is where we're going. So, perfect. We've used more fuel than expected, so it's a good thing we topped it off. But from this point on forth, it's going to be our trucking company. We're not doing contract work anymore. That's what the quick job really is a contract work. We contract to another company. Actually, let's do this one. This one's 40 points. And we can get away with that, so let's see here. Which bay is it in? Is it in this one? Middle one, okay. Oh, that's what it is. Come on. Decoupling. And there we go, guys. So take a look at the experience we're going to use, 1198. That's going to put us halfway through 7. But see, the long distance delivery, $2,300. Like I said, we're going to go for long distance 3. This will make it so we can take trips of 1,000 miles. This will probably make it so we can go all the way to California. We're at 140,000 now. So let's go and have a look at our truck dealers. We only know of one in Ogden and in Elko because we've been by there. No. We're going to visit a dealer. Yes, we're going to travel to Ogden. Alright, so now we are going to be moving on over. So let's have a look here. So we can only buy this guy here, this level 2. This will do. So now we've bought it. Now we're going to customize it. Which now means we've unlocked our truck HQ. And we do need to customize it the best of our abilities, so... And we don't have to take it to a truck dealer for that, guys. All we have to do... Oh, where's the map? I don't want a screenshot, thank you. Let's not try to wreck our truck on the first run here. Oh no! Come on. There we go. Okay, unlock the differentials. We don't want to have that. That's probably the direct hire. Ah, here it is. Okay, so this is where we're going. Because we can customize it there, we'll be able to put better transmission. Give it different paint colors. I don't want the white. But yeah, now we're free to explore the map as we please. We're no longer on contract work. We did spend a little bit more money on this. We got 18,000. We may or may not be able to upgrade it. But we do want to upgrade it as we can because that will give us the resources we need to go further. Oh, geez, we're going to find the Volvo dealer because it's right around the corner from our what's it called. So maybe we should check there too. Maybe we consider that. No, guys, we don't have to turn like that. Oh, we went past it up, so let's see if we can U-turn here. Oh, this is the highway heading out toward I-80 heading west. Here is that advertisement for Las Vegas in 2029. I wonder what that is. Our turn? Our turn. And yes, we're going to U-turn. Yeah, we're going to see what Volvo has available. I don't know if I want to sell this right away, though. That's really not my purview. But we can upgrade it here. That's the one luxury. We don't have to drive all the way into Ogden to do that. Well, let's have a look here. Just because I'm curious, what do the Europeans have to offer? No, I think I'm happy with what I got. Okay, so we're going to enter. Truck configuration, that's where we're going to go now. So you can see we have new cabins available at level 10 and level 20 respectively. So you can see this is going to allow us to pull heavier cargo. So we can't afford it. Actually, we can't. It's only $2 grand. It's only going to cost us 2,000 more. This will be another 5. Let's see that, guys, versus that. The transmission. And then here we go. So actually, yeah, that's going to cost us too much. Oh, see, we can't afford it, guys. 42,000 is what we have to pay. Oh, we're gonna refund us 39. So let's see if they'll let us do it. Not enough money. Clear the order. So we don't have enough money to do any of it. The paint job, I think, is the paint. So I think we gotta choose what we want to do to pick our evils here. Actually, creamery orange isn't too bad. That's what we're gonna go with. It's close. So if I deselect, what can I afford? I want to pull heavier loads, so this is something we have to get. We're just going to have to deal with the lighter engine for now. Well, guys, we are going to call it here. It has been wonderful. Wonderful time this time around. It's been a couple hours of Let's Play, so I have to bring up my task manager here. That way I can actually bring this up. I will see you all on the next episode. And if you like what you saw, please